I wanted to speak to him. And what I've realized is he is a direct cultural response to 10 years of men being told that they are not shit from women, right?
We are diving into Candace Owens' jaw-dropping claims about Andrew Tate on the PBD podcast. And let me tell you, she absolutely nails it when it comes to breaking down the cultural shift in masculinity. This isn't just some surface level analysis. Candace Owens is exposing the hypocrisy of the mainstream narrative surrounding Andrew Tate and why millions of men follow him. Let's immediately jump in and hear what Candace Owens has to say.
We were talking about this attack on masculinity and what they did with Trump, and he's a sacrificial lamb. The face of masculinity these days arguably is who? Andrew Tate, right?
Yeah, and so I was really interested in speaking with Andrew Tate. I know you guys had him on this podcast too, because you can debate whether or not you think what he did in his history he should account for it now, and he was involved in all of these things. I get it. Tens of millions of men follow him, okay? Your opinion about his past means nothing. I need to understand this, right? I am the person, I think it's really stupid and it defies logic when people say that, oh, this person has tens of millions of followers. This means that all tens of millions of the people that are following him must be racist, must be misogynist, must be human sex trafficking. I mean, you're just not even trying to think or trying to understand the cultural moment. I am way too interested to come up with an assessment like that. Tens of millions of people are not following Trump because they're racist. That's stupid, okay? Yeah. So you're missing something, and you should be interested in what it is that you're missing. Tens of millions of young men and grown men are not following Andrew Tate because they hate women, okay? That's a very stupid, shallow assessment.
They want more women, to be honest with you.
Exactly. And so, and when I started realizing the people that were following him, college graduates, men that are interested in business, what the Hustler University was all about, I wanted to speak to him. And what I've realized is he is a direct cultural response to 10 years of men being told that they are not shit from women, right?
Yep, exactly. I don't know about you guys, but this is the first time I have heard someone actually acknowledge the backlash that created Andrew Tate in the first place. Candace Owens is spot on. For over a decade, men have been hearing nothing but, you're the problem, it's you're toxic, and step aside for women. So of course, someone like Andrew Tate was going to rise up and say, no, you do have value. That's why so many guys follow him. It's not rocket science, but people don't want to hear the truth.
The Lena Dunhams, the girl culture, with Taylor Swift with an army of 10 girls. Every song's about a guy and why men suck.
Who runs the world? Girls.
Who
Beyonce.
runs the world? Beyonce. Girls.
The future
there
is
has
feminine.
been a decade. The future is feminine. Hillary Clinton. Men just shut up. MeToo movement. A decade of men being told that they have no value. No value in this society, okay? It is inevitable because I believe in equilibrium, right? Because I believe that eventually the world has to correct itself, the energy has to correct itself, that there was going to be men that started saying, actually, you do have value. Actually, that woman has no value. Actually, women ain't shit, right? Because she's a hooker, because she's a sex worker. And this is what we're seeing right now. And to people that don't understand that, it's because you're pretending that we haven't been existing under a matriarchy. I'm actually longer than 10 years. I mean, it's been about 15 years of sustained trash talk to men that has just been circulated in the mainstream media. And the best part about it, which is just so brilliant, you got to love women because we can be Machiavellian, is that at the same time that we're doing this, we're claiming that we're the victims. Right?
Which one is it?
It's like, and also like Me Too and Time's Up, but like we're completely dominating the narrative for the last 15 years. And so I understand it. I get it. And I'm actually so happy that men are starting to talk about what it means to be a high value man and to bring in a high value woman, right? And so is Andrew Tate the perfect person who, that in his past is no, he's got a lot of things in his past. And I said to him when I interviewed him, I think he should just be forthcoming and have humility and admit the mistakes. And he did a little bit of that in the interview. He said I showed him some old clips of himself, and he genuinely was not happy to hear himself speak. Yeah, right. Genuinely, you could see it on his face, like embarrassed that this is who he was 10 years ago.
You're speaking because
people change. People can improve.
People can change. Let him change because what an asset he would be. He has these men that are following him. Allow him to evolve. Allow him to be sorry. Allow him to make changes, and don't above anything else, stop discounting all of those young men that are coming from broken homes, that are directionless, and that are being told that they have no value, that are following him.
So, I mean, yeah, why is this so hard to understand? People love to preach about growth and redemption, but when it comes to Andrew Tate, suddenly it's all about keeping him in a permanent villain role. Candace Owens is advocating for change, saying, let the guy evolve and do some good. Why is that controversial? Maybe because the system wants young men lost, fatherless, and weak.
Fully agree. One more point with this. The high-value man, you said high-value man, high-value woman. I think it's very easy to define a high-value man, a man who's protector, provider, present for his woman, respects people, physically fit on the outside, morally correct on the inside, obviously makes money, man of status. It's easy to define. That's not a problem. How would you define a high-value woman, though, especially these days? Is it beauty? Is it social following? Is it just being a mother? Like, what's a high-value woman?
I think it is a woman that wants to be the CEO of the home. I think it is being aspirational. I think it is allowing men to lead. I genuinely believe that is the dynamic that works. Like, my husband leads in our household. That is just the way that it works. I think it is being beautiful. It is an element of it. That part of what the feminist rinsing tried to do was to, the Lena Dunhams, don't shave your armpits. That's part of the page. That's disgusting. Like, make yourself less attractive. It's because men like attractive. Okay, you think you're going to convince men to like ugly women if we just make ourselves ugly? It's like trying to
never gonna happen.
Yeah,
ladies.
it's like you're trying to make somebody say like eventually you're going to make them love disgusting food. Like of course, people, you should be attractive. You should take care of yourself, but that shouldn't be the number one focus on Instagram. Trying to be sexy. It's also being conservative. Men like mystery.
Candace Owens absolutely crushed it on this podcast, exposing the flimsy, one-sided arguments used to dismiss Andrew Tate and the millions of men who follow him. She isn't defending every past action he's taken, and she's saying, let him evolve and maybe listen to why men are listening to him in the first place. But of course, the mainstream can't handle that level of truth. So what do you think? Is Candace Owens right about Andrew Tate being a necessary cultural response, or are people just too afraid to admit what's actually happening?